How y'all doing today? It's your boy Eat Right Guy, and I'm back with another video. And so this is going to be another video to my series of preparing you for dietetic internships, and I want to talk about how to ace a dietetic internship interview if you get the opportunity to do this. And I actually have some experience in this. When I was a senior in college, I actually got interviewed for a dietetic internship. It was at North Oaks Dietetic Internship in Hammond, Louisiana. That was my second choice. And after I selected them as one of my choices, I think like in March or something, they asked to interview me. And so I had to go to that hospital and have a group interview with like 4 or 5 dietitians. And so it wasn't that bad. And so here are some of the tips and some of the things that I learned from that can help prepare you for an interview if you get that opportunity. So first we can start off with pre-interview. So these are some of the things you can do to prepare. And so the first thing you do, you want to research the internship as much as possible. You want to know everything about that internship. So go to the internship's website and read all the information regarding that a few times so you know exactly what that internship about. And this is going to help you during your interview as well. And also one of the best resources for information on the internship as well as how the interview is going to be conducted is current and past interns. And so I know a lot of women watch my videos. Y'all are very good at investigating stuff online. So go and try to find these interns that already did that program and reach out to them so they can know, so they can tell you, oh, this is how the interview was. It was just you and the internship director, or it was a group interview, or it was a phone interview or something like that. Or here's some of the interview questions. Like, those are the best resources if you can, but make sure that you know all the information you can about the internship, because you don't want to go into the interview looking crazy and not knowing what you're talking about. The second thing is practice answering questions. And so this can be done with like a family member or friend. Y'all can role play to where they can act like the interviewer and you can answer questions to them. One of the things that helped me was actually recording myself answering the question. So you can get your phone and type in the voice recorder, and then you just answer the question into your voice recorder and play it back. And once you play it back, you can kind of see how, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of grade yourself on how well you answered the question, and then you can kind of just practice until you can come up with a script. And so here are some of the questions that may be asked of you during the internship that you need to prepare for. One is, how did you become interested in the field of dietetics? What is your current area of interest? What are your expectations for the internship? One question that they usually will ask is, what are some of your strengths? And so to answer this question right here, you want to make sure that you choose a strength that's going to add value to the internship. So maybe say that one of your strengths is you're a hard worker. You can say, I'm a hard worker, which in turn means that I'm gonna prepare for all my rotations. And if it's something that I don't know, I'm gonna make sure that I go online and research it so the next day I can know it and be able to implement that into my rotations or when I talk to patients. So don't just give them a strength and that be it. Explain how that strength is gonna benefit you in the internship. And then the next question may be, what are some of your weaknesses? And so this is when you can be honest, give a weakness, but just like the previous question, whenever you give a weakness, you want to explain how you're going to overcome that weakness. So let's say that your weakness is that you're not confident in medical nutrition therapy. Just say, that's one of my weaknesses right now, but in the internship, I expect to overcome that weakness by hard work and listening to my preceptors and practicing and things like that. Make sure you explain how you're going to overcome your weaknesses. Also, another question could be like, what are your short and long-term goals? And also, if you have, they may ask you to tell us about a time in which you had a disagreement, or you had an extremely difficult coworker or customer, and how you handled that situation. So just come up with something. You may even have to lie on that situation, but just be prepared to answer those questions and come up with a script on, so once they ask it, you can answer them like that. Okay, so now we can transition into the interview. When it's the interview day and you get there, all right, the first thing you want to do is make sure you're on time. If you actually have to go to a location where the internship is located, you know what I'm saying, if you actually have to drive somewhere, make sure you get there like an hour early and just sit in your car until it's like 20 minutes before the internship. Then you can go into the hospital or the building and find where you need to go. But always get there like an hour and a half early. Like, don't play with this, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how bad the traffic will be. If it could be an accident on a road or interstate. There could be a train that you have to cross and the train is stopped on the tracks. Just make sure that you're very early so you can just get all that out the way. Also, let's say that you have an interview online, like via Skype. Make sure you have that app, or if it's like Google Plus, make sure you have that app downloaded on your computer and that you already tried that app out so you know exactly what to do. Also, make sure your internet is working. Make sure your laptop is plugged into the wall and charged up. Don't even play around with, you know what I'm saying, not having your laptop charged or having it half charged. Just make sure it's plugged into the wall so nothing bad will happen. You can get the interview out the way. And so now let's say that, you know what I'm saying, it's interview time. You walk into the room or you walk into the conference and you're ready to get started. The first thing you want to do is walk in there with a smile on your face and introduce yourself to everybody. That is huge. Like, a smile can go a long ways in changing the atmosphere. You do not want to go in there with a frown on your face or looking nervous, because then that can give off that you have a bad attitude, which you may not. So fake a smile. Always smile the whole interview, even when you're answering the questions. Definitely dress professionally. If you're a man, come in there with a suit and tie, dress shoes, minimum makeup and jewelry and things like that. Women, have y'all formal attire as well. Don't wear a lot of perfume. Don't have a lot of piercings and things like that. If you have tattoos, make sure they're covered up, just like a regular interview. Be confident. Like, you should approach this interview like you already got selected into a dietetic internship. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just think about it as, okay, I already got the internship. They just have to interview me as some formal thing just to get out the way. Like, just act like you already have it and answer your questions like that. Like, okay, I already got it. You know what I'm saying? So, and also at the end of the interview, always ask them questions. Never end the interview and without asking any questions. So I would recommend you ask like 3 questions. And this is where, at the beginning, where I say you need to research this internship thoroughly. This is where that comes in. So some of the questions could be is asking them, where are the rotation sites? Could you explain a little bit about that? Especially if they don't have that information on their website. Also, you can ask them, where should I live? Where are some of the best areas in this city to live? Because like my internship that I went to, luckily when I was there, it was the internship was in Baton Rouge, so all the rotation sites were in Baton Rouge. But before that, few years before that, most of the rotation sites were in New Orleans. So, and that's like an hour to hour and a half away from the school. And so like people that come out of state and move to Baton Rouge, now they gotta drive an hour every day to go to the rotation sites when it would have been better for them just to live in New Orleans. So definitely ask them that about the living situation. Also, you can ask them a question about the RD exam. They're gonna love this because all internship directors want all their students to pass. So you can tell them, hey, I've been studying a little bit for the RD exam. Do you think this is too early to start studying? What are, in your opinion, what are some of the best study materials? Like, act interested in passing the RD exam. That's definitely a good question to ask. And once the interview concludes, make sure you write the internship director a thank you letter either handwritten or send her an email, just as showing appreciation for actually being interviewed. And that's pretty much it. And like I said earlier, be confident. Like, if you got selected to do an interview, that means that it is a good chance you're gonna get selected. They do not interview everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that they get 100 applicants. They may interview 10 of those people for like 6 slots. So you have a very good opportunity. You beat out a lot of people. Go into there like you already got the internship. Hopefully this video was helpful. If y'all have any questions or anything, y'all can email me at eatrightguy@gmail.com, or y'all can hit me up on the DM on my Instagram at eatrightguy. Y'all have a nice day. And if you're a nutrition student or a dietetic intern and you're concerned about passing the RD exam, feel free to join my Facebook group, RD Exam Prep, which will be down in the description. And this is where you can be part of a community that will answer any questions that you may have, as well as I provided free study guides, notes, and practice exams. And while you're at it, follow me on Instagram at eatrightguy, and visit my website, eatrightguy.com, where I post weekly blogs on nutrition and dietetics related topics.